Later on.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, with our main topic today. While Egypt is celebrating Mother's Day, and on this occasion, we have the pleasure to discuss our main topic, the Egyptian actresses who excelled in performing or playing the role of the mother in the Egyptian cinema, also on the TV screen, in TV series, and also on stage. To shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to host today in the breakfast show Mr. Osama Fateem, the cinema critic. Good morning, Mr. Fateem.
Good morning, ma'am. Thank you for having me, and happy Mother's Day for all the mothers of the world. And on a personal note, that's my first Mother's Day without my mother. So hey, for all the orphans like us, hey, we love our mothers who passed away, and for me personally, I have surrogate mothers, my aunts, Dr. Suad and Dr. Ilham Fateem, and Auntie Magda Abdel Sayed, that I wanted to take the opportunity to thank them for being there in my life.
Yes, we will always remember them, of course. We would like to ask you our first question. Was the Egyptian cinema able to give the importance of the manners of and the attitude of and the sacrifices of the Egyptian woman?
Well, the mother is a dramatic personality and persona. It has been always in the, whether in novels, in movies, and so on, or have been always a very rich character to be played on: the good mother, the bad mother, the mean mother, the kind mother. All that have been very exploited and explored in whether in novels or in movies and cinema. So yes, the Egyptian cinema has concentrated, well, not concentrated, have been very keen to show the mother and how, and many of our actresses have been very well, did the role quite well.
Yes. Yes. So let's name some of the Egyptian actresses who were able to perform or play the role of the mother in the Egyptian cinema. Let me name some of them.
Go ahead.
Amina Rizq, Firdaus Mohammed, Karima Mukhtar, of course.
Yes.
Aziza Hilmi.
Yes.
Samiha
No, maybe.
Yes, in some films.
As well as Huda Sultan, and there is somebody, I mean, I can play it any way you want, by the way. We can start from the traditional ones, like Amina Rizq, who played in Dua El Karawan, or the where she was, her daughter sinned, and she had to eventually approve the killing of her daughter for sinning. And there's the huge line or catchphrase, فين هنادي أماي, وين هنادي أماي, where is Hanadi, my mother, when her sister was checking about her.
Yes, also Amina Rizq played the role of the mother in the film
بداية ونهاية.
Yes, of course. Also التلميذة, or the pupil, with Shadia.
Yes, in بداية ونهاية, or beginning and end, it's Naguib Mahfouz. Naguib Mahfouz's novel.
Yes.
And she was the mother of Farid Shawqi, Omar Sharif, Sana Gamil, and she was a huge difference in that movie. I mean, she was a landmark in that one, where basically she took care of her children. One of them was eventually a drug dealer, another took the wrong way in living by prostituting herself, and so on. So it's, and yet the mother, with all the characters, she was the one holding the family together.
Yes.
In other, if you want to play it untraditionally, Aziza Helmi, for example, who played the song we had just now, the famous song Ya Rabbi Khaliki Ya Ummi, or May
Yes.
God bless you, my mother. She started early in a very rare movie, which was The Pains of Christ in 1938. She played Virgin Mary. And she was very young at that time. And that made the landmark. Of course, making a movie in the Egyptian cinema about Jesus Christ is something rare and was never repeated again so far. And but by playing that role, she became the mother of everyone. That's another thing. And then eventually, it became quite clear that she can do that role. And that's why the famous song that we just heard is from a movie that she played the mother in.
Yes.
A funny turnover of event is Fatin Hamama in Empire of M, or
Yes.
Imperatoriyet Mim.
Yes.
That was in the early 70s, the movie was, and it was the time where let us practice democracy at home.
Yes.
So she had 6 kids, and
yes, a young mother of
yes,
6 kids.
a single mother. She was not
single
young
mother.
at that point, yeah. But she had 6 kids, and between all various ages, from 8 to 18,
Yes.
or maybe a little 20. And they were basically making, okay, let us try democracy at home, and hey, we want to elect the CEO of this household. And she was, well, she ran against her son. She was, again, a single mother who basically had the concept of maybe getting remarried or something like that, and the kids did not agree on the way she is running their lives. And then eventually the election occurred, and they all voted for her. So yeah, we will rebel against you, Mom, but in the end, we want you as the main thing to our lives.
Yes.
So I can go on forever. So there is.
So we have some pictures from the Egyptian cinema,
Yes,
the
yes,
actresses,
yes. Of course, there
famous
is
mothers of.
Karima Mukhtar. Karima Mukhtar is the ideal mother on
yes,
TV between.
for all the people.
Yes, between El Ayal Kibrit, the funny play, where she is the naive mother that the husband is trying to get remarried, and the kids stop that plan. And she is loved. She's so naive and so loved. But she
And
she,
her role also in Al Hafid, or the grandson.
exactly, or the grandson, yes, yes, yes. She was the mother of everybody, and again holding the house together, trying to get, this is of the great centerist, Mr. Ahmad Abdul Wahab. And it was a beautiful movie at that point. It was an innovation, if you want.
Yes.
Then in her latest roles, Mama Nuna.
Yes,
in
and the TV series
يتربى في
with
عزه.
the-
Yes,
with
the whole
Yahya
country.
Al-Fakhrani.
Yes, Yahya Al-Fakhrani. I mean, she was spoiling her 60 years old son,
Yes.
which is, you know, a mom as it should and shouldn't be that. Hey, we love the concept that she's spoiling a huge.
She was the mother in all the TV series.
No, not all, but in a
Yes.
good portion, she was the ideal mother.
Yes.
She excelled at that.
Yes.
So when she died in that series, everybody literally cried, especially that the turnout of event that her death made him stand up for himself and become a better person.
Yes.
With all the regret that he did for being a spoiled old man, not young man at all.
Yes, yes.
We can go on forever, so hey, go on for the next question
Yes,
if you want.
My next character is Fardoos Muhammad.
Yes,
Yes.
Fardoos Muhammad, she was never a mother in real
Yes,
life.
she didn't have kids.
Not children, no.
Yes.
She got married a
But
couple
she
of
could perform the role of a mother
Yes,
perfectly.
and her features, her face features, just
Her voice also.
plus her voice, she was able to just project the kindness and of all our mothers, if you want. in just by looking at the camera. She didn't have to act, I imagine. But of course she had to act because she was never a real mother. So she just embodied the character of the mother for a very long time. She died in 1961, so all her movies were before that golden era, if you want, but she was always a landmark. But she was also the
yes, we have Fardoos
yes,
Muhammad on screen
you can
now.
tell from that
Yes.
sound. I mean,
She
her
has a
sound,
very special voice.
very special voice, very special features.
Yes.
She could tell. You could tell right away that there is love here, that there's somebody who is caring. I mean, she adopted all of us, if you want, in her movies, and that was the case.
Yes.
If on the other hand, I can play it funny, by the way, that Mary Munib, she was the mother-in-law, but she was also a mother. I mean, again, this is a huge topic. So Mary Munib, I mean, in that scene here where Ahmad Ramzi is kissing her on the cheek, she's just the fooled mother, more or less. She is accepting that her son is fooling her and loving her at the same time, and letting it go with. If you look at the feature on this, I mean, it passed a lot, that she was hurt a little bit, but she will let it go. Again, in Antar ibn Shaddad here, where she is the mother of the great hero Antar, she was again the giving, loving mother, hiding the real identity of the father, and again that made a very a complex to the man, that he knows who his father is, but his father does not want to recognize him, and eventually he does. I mean, Fardoos Muhammad is someone that adopted all of us, as I said. She is a nice mother that people would love, simply. And there is, of course, away from being the mother, that there is her famous scene with the Stefan Rosti, where she says, where she is again the kind woman, who's at that point she was the surrogate mother of that of the girl of Fateem Hamama. Where he tells her, "Hey, may I have this dance?" Just let him go ahead and dance. And that's a catchphrase, that people would always remember it.
Yes. Also, Shadia played a very important role in the film "لا تسألني من أنا."
Yes.
Or "Don't ask me who I am."
Yes, she did that in a very surprising way. She is a poor woman who eventually manages, who had many children, and manages to sell or to pass her daughter, one of her daughters,
to the rich woman.
To a rich woman who couldn't have children, and in the same time stayed next to her as the servant at the house. She did not want to, I mean, the role by itself was surprising for Shadia. Everybody was a little bit, oh my God, Shadia can act as that mother. And then eventually when the truth came out, they blamed her. That she allowed, her other 5 children, girls and boys, blamed her for, okay, why did you choose that one to give to that woman? And we didn't have that kind of life that the daughter of the rich woman lived.
But she did not leave her daughter to the rich woman, not even 1 second.
Yes, totally. I mean, she managed, that's kind of a giving mother. She managed through the money.
But she was always beside her.
Yes, through the money she got from the rich woman, Madiha Yusri at that point, she managed to raise her children well.
Yes, we have a shot from the film
here. And then
Shadia and Yusri.
Yes. And then and her songs and all that.
Her songs,
I mean, for her daughter and all that. So she excelled completely in that, and it was a surprise for the audience to see her in that performing that role, because she was always known as the cute singer, the cute beautiful girl, even the seductress at one point or another. And then the mom in that thing, that completely selfless woman who gives everything to her children.
Yes.
That was a landmark. That's why
Yes.
we still remember that movie.
Yes, yes. Also, Amal Zayed in
Yes.
the trilogy of Naguib Mahfouz,
Correct.
playing the mother and the wife of the
Amina, yeah.
Amina, yes.
In the بين القصرين قصر الشوق بين القصرين السكرية.
Yes.
She was in
The
the first.
trilogy of Naguib Mahfouz.
Yeah, the famous one. She was the mother who basically, again, very naive, very submissive to her husband, and she managed completely to get all these children raised, even raised the son of her his first wife, and then he is the dictator, the tough guy who basically whatever he says, nobody could sit on the table while he was eating. She was serving him hand and foot, as we say, and she is the ultimate submissive wife, the ultimate kind mother, and eventually she cannot lie to her husband no matter what, which gets her into trouble because of a simple mistake, and he couldn't forgive her for it because his ego and his picture or his image towards his kids had to be the tough and strong man who has no mercy, which still happens in our houses today in some households.
Yes, yes.
If you want to play funny wise as well, we will find Yusra. Yusra in her latest, maybe the latest episode.
TV series.
Yeah, the name was. She was the tough mother, who's getting her children. One of her child got involved in drugs, and eventually she discovered that her whole family was conspiring against her because she was rich. I think لدينا أقوال أخرى was the soap, but she was as the vengeful mother. She managed to get them all to realize, after realizing what has happened.
Yes.
She managed to get them all, serve them justice,
Yes.
which is the vengeful mother here. So
Yes.
again, that is another way that the Egyptian drama has explored from
Yes.
time to time, or managed to go through this tough topic.
Yes. Also-
And that again was Yusra was a surprise in that,
Yes.
because Yusra is always the one being loved, the woman who is attractive and wanting to, everybody wants her love and so on. Even that, I mean, because it was a soap, so all these aspects were explored, but it was not, the fact that she was the vengeful mother was a new high for her.
Yes. Also, Huda Sultan played the role of the mother in some TV series.
Yeah, in Zizinia.
Yes.
the
With the Yahya al-Fakhrani, she played the role of Fatma Talaba.
yes,
Yes.
that as well.
الليل وآخره.
I think so, yes,
I think
correct. Yeah, she
the
was the
night-
tough
yes.
mom. But no, I loved her more in Zizinia,
Yes.
where she was the wife of Hamdi Reis, and she raised two of her own kids, and then with Osama Anwar Rakesh has great portrayal of all the characters. She has two kids, two boys, two men who were just so awful.
Yes.
And yet, and she managed to bring up Yahya al-Fakhrani, who is the daughter, the son of the Italian woman at that
Yes.
point that his father went for, or married for some time, and brought him better than her own kids. As well as at that point there was Samah Anwar, who was the daughter of another wife of that guy, and she managed to raise them all
Yes.
equally, and she did a better job with her in-laws or those who are she did not bear in her own belly, versus the kids that she gave life to.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time.
Thank
for your
you.
valuable information. Mr. Osama Fateem, the cinema critic, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Thank you. Well, my dear viewers, I leave you now with my colleague Nermeen Abdurrahman.